when it comes to the gay community, it could become really annoying and sometimes very hurtful when they portray certain people how they portray certain sexual orientations, right? I think it's pretty harmful too in general when a lot of leftists, in many cases, they determine what's gay enough, right? What's gay enough for an individual? How do you determine if an individual is gay enough? And recently, Pete Buttigieg made some comments in regards to how he's getting really fed up. I wouldn't say fed up, but he's getting really tired of hearing and of listening to the LGBT media, and saying that he gets really fed up in the sense that all he hears is who's gay, what's gay, what is considered to be gay, who is that person not gay enough, is that person really gay, stuff like that, right? So it gets really annoying. And I would be really annoyed too. I mean, trust me, I had to deal with a lot of those things in the sense that when it comes to being Hispanic enough, because I choose to not to engage in in a lot of the Hispanic Mexican culture and customs that I am not Mexican enough, right? Even though I am of Hispanic descent. So I would understand from that point perspective that it can be really annoying when leftists try to categorize and determine what is classified as what when it comes to being a minority, being black, being Hispanic, being gay, being trans, and it's really harmful. Now, before I read into this segment, I want to talk to you about a skit from Key and Peele. Now, Key and Peele was a show on Comedy Central that was on the network for a few years. I haven't seen it in a long time, but I recently started watching it again on Hulu Plus, and it's hysterical. And yesterday I was watching it, and I saw a skit where Keegan Michael Key plays a stereotypical effeminate gay man. Now I'm talking about those gay men who are very flamboyant, like oh my god, girlfriend, stuff like that, right? Obviously, just an example. I do not want to give you a longer example because I do not want to get flagged or be deemed offensive, but you get the point, right? In society, gay men in society, not we, but in society, gay men are pretty much stereotyped as being very effeminate, very flamboyant, right? And that's not really the case because Pete Buttigieg is a gay man and he doesn't fit that stereotype at all. If I were to just meet Pete Buttigieg out of the blue, it wouldn't even come to my mind to think this guy's gay. Obviously, I wouldn't. I wouldn't even judge the guy in general. I don't have a problem with him. If I were to meet him face to face, I would probably get along with him. Probably because again, I've yet to meet him, but he seems like a really nice guy. Politics wise, I would probably disagree somewhat, but from personal perspective, I'll probably get along with him. He seems like a nice guy, but he doesn't fit the stereotypical, gay man narrative in the sense that he's not flamboyant, he's not effeminate, right? And when it comes to the skit of Key and Peele, Keegan Michael Key plays a stereotypical flamboyant gay man, and he has a coworker that Jordan Peele, he plays as a coworker, right? And throughout the entire time, Key's character, the flamboyant, stereotypical gay man, shows he's licking a lollipop that's shaped like a male's genitalia. He has a little knitted pocket or something like a little tiny like a little pocket bag or something like a little knitted one that's shaped like male genitalia. Then he has a little whistle that's shaped like male genitalia. Everything this guy has, everything that Key's character has on his desk is related to male genitalia. Throughout the skit, he tries to show Peele's character his private parts and stuff like that, and Peele reacts in the sense that I do not want to see your male genitalia. I do not want to see your rear end, right? And then Key's character says, "Oh my God, you're a homophobe! You're a homophobe! Homophobe alert! Homophobe alert!" He starts blowing on his male genitalia shaped whistle, and then Peele's character is like, "Okay, you're making a big deal out of this, all and something like that," and then a guy comes in. It was a guy, another coworker. Another coworker comes in. He greets both of them, right? He greets, Peele and, Key's character. And then Peele gets up and is like, "Oh, how you doing? How you doing, babe?" or something like that. But Peele, kisses, or I think they kiss or they hug or something like that. I'm pretty sure they kiss. But, he kisses the guy and clearly showing that Peele's character is also gay, right? But he's not the stereotypical, he's not the stereotypical gay man that we are led to believe. Gay men do not behave the way Key's character behaves, right? Usually, gay men in many cases tend to be like Jordan Peele's character, right? Very reserved, very introvert. Not really introverted, but they're not open about it, right? They're not open about it in the sense that it's their own personal business. It's no one else's business to know. They don't have to make it, known every 10 seconds, right? And Pete Buttigieg is saying it's kind of like Jordan Peele's character, the homosexual man that just keeps it to himself in the sense that it's his private matter. He shouldn't have to present it every 10 minutes or every 10 seconds, right? And then once Peele's character and his gay partner, his male partner, leave, they go out to dinner or something like that. Key's character closes off by saying, maybe he's not a homophobe, maybe I'm just an a-hole, right? And that leaves you thinking, kind of how like the LGBT community, they hurt each other in many cases because, again, not all gay men are like Key's character, the stereotypical flamboyant, effeminate man. They're more like many of them are like Pete Buttigieg, right? Very reserved, very. I wouldn't say masculine, but they don't see the need to state they're gay, like they're homosexual every 10 seconds, right? Their sexual orientation is their own private business, and they keep it that way. So people to judge, again, he criticized the LGBT media in regards to how they always talk about who's gay, who's not gay enough, stuff like that, and he got really tired of it. Now he's backtracking from it, and I don't see why he saw the need to do that when he really made a point. But let's go on. Let's read the article now. It reads, Pete Buttigieg blames criticism of gay media on grumpy moment. Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg clarified his criticism of queer media after he said he could not even read the LGBT media anymore because it's all he's too gay, not gay enough, wrong kind of gay. And again, I would get pretty sick of it too. I mean, I get pretty sick of leftists telling me I'm not Hispanic enough. But hey, I'm Hispanic, and even then, I'm really proud to be living in the United States. But anyways, let's keep going. Buttigieg, who is openly gay, said he did not mean to be dismissive of queer media and blamed the remark on a grumpy moment. Just to be clear, LGBTQ media plays an increasingly important role, especially at a time like this. I had a grumpy moment where I was thinking about some of the coverage that I do get frustrated with that seems to tell people how to be gay, and that's to be fair, happening in a lot of different sources and places online and in others. And it's one reason why, as a candidate, it's healthy not just to read too many clips about yourself to begin with, but I don't want to take away from the very good work that's being done in the queer media right now, he told BuzzFeed News. So he's not backtracking entirely, right? So I'm glad he's not backtracking. I'm glad that he's still standing with the criticism that he said, but at least he's clarifying it, right? So again, he didn't really backtrack a lot. He's just clarifying it. So okay, I'm kind of glad that he didn't backtrack from what he said. He still stands by his criticism, but hey, at least he clarified it. The South Bend, Indiana mayor's original comments came during a radio interview when he was asked about criticism of his sexuality and how he fits into the gay community. I'm sure you've heard this before in LGBT circles, that more masculine presenting men have more access. How different would it be if you were, quote unquote, more effeminate? SiriusXM host Clay Kane asked. And then Buttigieg responded with, It's tough for me to know. I just am what I am, and there's going to be a lot of that. That's why I can't even read the LGBT media anymore, because it's all too gay, not gay enough, wrong kind of gay. Buttigieg said, all I know is that life became a lot easier when I just started allowing myself to be myself, and I'll let other people write up whether I'm to this or to that. Buttigieg, who's 37, said the criticism over his remarks were fair game because he's running for public office. Everything you say has an impact, he said. I say it does make a point. I mean, it's not about being anti-gay or anti-LGBTQ. If it makes you feel better for, publicly or coming out, let's just say like coming out. If it makes you feel comfortable coming out and being yourself, by all means, go on ahead. I'm not going to stop you, and people shouldn't stop you for being who you want to be. In this case, Buttigieg, he likes being who he is. But the LGBT media, again, he does make a good point here, is that they try to determine what's gay enough, when is a person not gay enough, right? Like I said, in many cases, society has when they say, can you envision a gay man's behavior? Society has been fed the stereotype that all gay men are very effeminate, very flamboyant, when it's not really the case. It's not. Pete Buttigieg, he's not flamboyant, he's not effeminate, but he's definitely a gay individual. He's definitely a homosexual. He's married to a man. And do I hate him for it? Of course not. But he does make a valid point when he complains about not really complains, when he criticizes the LGBT media in regards to setting a bar on what's gay, like what passes as gay, what doesn't pass as gay. And I think that's a valid criticism. I get really fed up sometimes too when I see a lot of leftists saying that, are you Mexican enough, right? Or when they say, well, you shouldn't be wearing that because it's offensive towards the Hispanic community, and I'm thinking, dude, who are you to speak for me? Like, if I saw a white guy wearing a sombrero and a zarape, I wouldn't mind. In fact, I'll be like, you look pretty cool. You look more Mexican than I do. Because I don't wear that kind of stuff. Like, obviously, during festival, like, obviously the sombrero and the zarape are not regular attire that many Mexicans wear. It's not a regular attire, but during celebrations, especially those who are very passionate about the culture of Mexico and then the Mexican culture, they will wear sombreros and zarapes. It's not a weird thing. But I don't wear that kind of stuff. My kind of attire is more American in the sense that, I wear more the American flag. Obviously, I have a shirt right here. If you guys can see it, I have the flag right here. I have a hat with the American flag on the edge of the cap. That's kind of my style. That's my thing. Does it mean that I'm not Mexican? No, I have Mexican heritage. But even then, as a joke, one of the jokes whenever I go to Mexico, it's a joke. I don't really mind. But it kind of shows you how sometimes, Mexican Americans who are born in the U.S. and then they have to deal with relatives who are from Mexico. They're usually kind of like the kid that everyone likes to make fun of, right? Everyone likes to roast. They're like, oh, you're not Hispanic enough. Oh, is this food not good enough or stuff like that, right? I always get that, but I laugh. I don't care, right? I was like, whatever. Let's have papers, right? You know what I mean? But again, we know we like to roast each other. We know when we roast each other, it's no holds barred. We do that. I'm not offended, but in many cases, it's still a thing, though. A lot of people tend to determine whether or not you're Mexican enough, and I would criticize that too. If I ever have to deal with that constantly, Pete Buttigieg apparently doesn't like hearing who's gay, who's not gay enough, who's too gay, stuff like that, right? But at least he didn't backtrack. At least he clarified it. At least he stood by his criticisms. But at least he clarified that he wasn't attacking the LGBTQ community. Because again, he's part of the community. But again, let me know what you guys think. Do you think Pete Buttigieg's critique of the LGBT media is valid? Do you agree with his criticisms? Do you disagree? Do you think that nowadays a lot of media, when it comes to liberal and leftist media, try to determine what is what, or what counts as what when it comes to race, gender, sexual orientation, and all the other stuff? Or do you think he really just had a grumpy moment and that's that? Right? Let me know what you guys think about this. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification button as well. That way you never miss an upload. But the best thing you can do, and I said in every video, is share the video because YouTube has decided to rank independent political commentary. And you sharing the video really does help me out a lot. I had this channel for like 3 months and I'm not to be surprised, but I'm very thankful that I have 17 subscribers and I honestly didn't expect it to be that high, considering that, again, YouTube likes to not suggest videos like this. So you sharing the video really does help out a lot. And again, 17 might not seem enough, and it might not seem like a lot, but to me it does. Because I've been doing this for like 3 months, and to actually have that amount of subscribers, considering how YouTube does their, how they set up their content, it really is happy to see that I have that many considering that I have to go through all these hoops and obstacles, right? But again, sharing the video is the best thing you can do. Share it on social media, Twitter, with your friends, and honestly, just let me know what you guys think about this, all right? And the next segment will be going to be regards to Louis C.K., in regards to comedy, and how he is making, and not only say he's making a comeback, but his comeback is literally no holds barred. Like, he's not making any apologies, and he's done with cancel culture. So he's taking on cancel culture. So hopefully you guys can stick around for that. And if you cannot, hopefully you'll be able to see the next segments on your own time. All right? I'll see you guys in a bit.